What's up, Space Pirates? This is your captain, the obviously awesome Dr. Disaster, and the viewership numbers for The Acolyte are coming out, and it ain't pretty.
Welcome to Earth.
Yeah, despite all the critics kissing Disney's ass, The Acolyte is coming back down to Earth. The Rotten Tomatoes score dropped to 13% yesterday, and yet the media is trying to convince us that the nasty egg fart that Lucasfilm just ripped is actually a delightful fragrance. They're trying to spin the numbers so that The Acolyte looks good, but there is no mistaking the horrid stench of Disney Star Wars.
The air doesn't smell so foul down here.
Liar!
I recognized your foul stench when I was brought on board.
Alright, me hearties, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter, where my handle is Dr. Disaster1. Anyhow, let's see what's going on with The Acolyte viewership. If you look at this headline from the Sci-Fi and Fantasy Gazette, you'd think everything was peachy for Disney on this one. The Acolyte new viewership data suggests the series is a hit despite likely signs of review bombing.
Sure, Jan.
There's reason to believe The Acolyte is being review bombed, something that's seemingly evident from an audience score 14%, which is worse than even the hilariously bad Star Wars Holiday Special. Seeing as the show has an 84% score from critics, something isn't adding up, and newly revealed viewership data from Variety may paint a very different picture when it comes to whether The Acolyte is a success.
It's false. No way. Not this time.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Has the possibility ever entered your mind that the critics are just shills who will say that Disney Star Wars is amazing no matter what? The latest Disney Star Wars show is always the best thing ever until the next one comes out, and then they'll say that that is even better. The Disney Star Wars shills might be the problem, but nope, that never even crossed your mind. Always blame the fans.
Why would you think that? Why would you even think that?
But let's check out these numbers from this article that are supposedly making The Acolyte look so incredible. They posted this top 10 chart from Luminate, which is a new service very similar to the Nielsen Top 10. It ranks streaming shows by minutes watched within the United States, and as you can see, the show debuted at number 6 on a chart absolutely dominated by Netflix. I've said it before, and I will say it again. People don't actually watch Disney Plus. They get it for free as a package deal with their Verizon subscription, and they never watch it. But stop and think about this for a sec. Can you imagine if you went back in time to a decade ago, before Disney put out any new Star Wars movies, and you told your old self that a Star Wars show would come out and it would only be the number 6 most watched show? The old you would tell you that you are crazy.
No way!
But forget all that. We don't need to compare this show to Netflix shows to see that even the die-hard Star Wars viewers are abandoning this shit. According to the chart, in the week of June 7th through the 13th, which was the first full week for The Acolyte to be viewed, the show reached 380.5 million minutes streamed. Now, this here is the previous week, May 31st through June 6th. The Acolyte came out on the 4th, so it was only available to be streamed for a few days of that week. It got 210 million minutes streamed. If we add the first 2 weeks together, which amounts to 10 days where The Acolyte was available to watch, we see that the show got 590.5 million minutes streamed. Now, if you divide that number by the total runtime of the first 2 episodes, this would suggest that approximately 7,669,000 people watched this thing. But wait, this doesn't take into account the fact that the 3rd episode of the show was available for the last 3 days of the 2nd week. Let's do some math to see if we can figure out how many people watched this thing, because we're going to compare it to Ahsoka's first week, and I promise you, this is hilariously bad for The Acolyte. But if we go back to the first week of The Acolyte's release, where it got 210 million minutes streamed, and divide that by the runtime of the first 2 episodes, we see that roughly 2,727,000 people watched the show in the first 3 days. It's reasonable to assume those same people would have watched the 3rd episode in the first 3 days after its release. The runtime on that is 42 minutes, so if we multiply 42 by the number of people who are early viewers of the show, then we get approximately 114.5 million minutes that we have to shave off of The Acolyte's total viewing time in order to get a reasonably accurate viewing count for the first 2 episodes. That means the first 2 episodes brought in about 476 million minutes streamed over the course of 10 days, or roughly 6,181,000 people watching it. Now let's compare that to Ahsoka. This is the Nielsen Top 10 for the week of August 21st through the 27th. In that time period, with 2 episodes available, Ahsoka got 829 million minutes streamed. The combined runtime for the first 2 episodes was 96 minutes. So, if we divide 829 million by 96, we can see that approximately 8,635,000 people watched Ahsoka. That is more than 2 million more than The Acolyte. And also, keep in mind that Ahsoka was released on August 23rd, meaning that this Nielsen chart only covered the first 5 days of Ahsoka's streaming availability. So that means that Ahsoka got 2 million more viewers in 5 days compared to The Acolyte in 10 days. In other words, The Acolyte is getting its ass kicked by Ahsoka, which was universally recognized as a major disappointment.
It's bad. It's so bad.
Let's go back to the article real quick. It says, in a top 10 list which measures the minutes watched by every streaming original TV show between June 7th and June 13th, Netflix dominates with 9 titles. The likely reason for that is the streamer's tendency to release entire seasons at a time. However, even with only 2 episodes of The Acolyte available on Disney+, it still managed to hit the number 6 spot.
Don't bullshit a bullshitter.
Yeah, well, there's another way to look at that, you Disney shill. The top 10 is dominated by Netflix, even though those shows are destined to cannibalize each other's views because they're on the same streaming service and always directly competing for the viewer's eyeballs. But whatever, I can't even with these idiots. I'm gonna leave it there. What do you make of The Acolyte's viewership numbers? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below, and we will talk there.
Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your captain is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.